It is the year 3019 of the Third Age. King Théoden of Rohan has perished in the Battle of the Pelennor Fields, and Éomer, his nephew, has been appointed by him as his heir and as the new king of the Mark. Today on the Homely House, we cover the life of Éomer after the Lord of the Rings. After much struggle, on the 25th of March the One Ring is destroyed, and the Free Peoples put an end to the tyranny of the Dark Lord Sauron. Over a month later, many known individuals including Éomer attend the coronation of King Elessar in Minas Tirith. Soon Aragorn greets Éomer and they embrace, and they swear an everlasting friendship between each other and between Gondor and Rohan the realms. Between us there can be no word of giving or taking, nor of reward, for we are brethren. In happy hour did there ride from the north, and never has any league of peoples been more blessed, so that neither has ever failed the other, nor shall fail. Now, as you know, we have laid Théoden the Renowned in a tomb in the Hallows, and there he shall lie forever among the kings of Gondor, if you will. Or if you desire it, we will come to Rohan and bring him back to rest with his own people. And Éomer answered, Since the day when you rose before me out of the green grass of the downs I have loved you, and that love shall not fail. But now I must depart for a while to my own realm, where there is much to heal and set in order. But as for the fallen, when all is made ready we will return for him, but here let him sleep a while. On the 8th of May, Éomer with his sister Éowyn and the sons of Elrond ride off by the north way towards their country. A few months later, on the 18th of July, Éomer returns to Minas Tirith to bear Théoden back to rest in Rohan. In 3 days, as the king had said, Éomer of Rohan came riding to the city, and with him came an heir of the fairest knights of the Mark. He was welcomed. There King Éomer at last perceives the beauty of the elf maidens being present, including that of the Lady Galadriel and of the Queen Arwen. And when they sat all at table in Merethron, the great hall of feasts, he beheld the beauty of the ladies that he saw and was filled with great wonder. And before he went to his rest, he sent for Gimli the dwarf, and he said to him, Gimli, glowing son, have you your axe ready? Nay, lord, said Gimli, but I can speedily fetch it if there be need. You shall judge, for there are certain rash words concerning the lady in the golden wood that lie still between us, and now I have seen her with my eyes. Well, lord, and what say you now? Alas, I will not say that she is the fairest lady that lives. Then I must go for my axe. But first I will plead this excuse, said Éomer. Had I seen her in other company, I would have said all that you could wish. But now I will put Queen Arwen even star first, and I am ready to do battle on my own part with any who deny me. Shall I call for my sword? Then Gimli bowed low. Nay, you are excused for my part, lord. You have chosen the evening, but my love is given to the morning, and my heart forebodes that soon it will pass away forever. At last the day of departure comes, and on the 19th of July, King Éomer goes to the tombs in Rathdinnen with King Elessar, and they bear away King Théoden. Without haste, the funeral escort of King Théoden sets out for Rohan. At length, after almost 20 days of journey, in the 7th of August, Éomer and the rest arrive at Edoras. 3 days later, King Théoden is put to rest and a great mound is raised over him, and afterwards the highest feast that has ever taken place since the days of the building of Medusel is held. For after the funeral, folk gather to the Golden Hall, and the Lady Éowyn bears a filled cup to Éomer. Then a minstrel and lore master names all the names of the lords of the Mark in their order. And when Théoden was named, Éomer drained the cup. Then Éowyn bade those that served to fill the cups, and all there assembled rose and drank to the new king. After the feast, King Éomer announces the betrothal of Éowyn and Faramir. Now this is the funeral feast of Théoden the king, but I will speak ere we go of tidings of joy, for he would not grudge that I should do so, since he was ever a father of Éowyn, my sister. Hear then, all my guests, fair folk of many realms, such as have never before been gathered in this hall. Faramir, steward of Gondor and prince of Ithilien, asked that Éowyn, lady of Rohan, should be his wife, and she grants it full willing. Therefore there shall be troth plighted before you all. When Faramir and Éowyn sat hand in hand, Éomer continues, Thus is the friendship of the Merchant of Gondor bound with a new bond, and the more do I rejoice. When the feast comes to an end, those who are to go take leave of King Éomer. At the last, before the guests set out, Éomer and Éowyn come to Merry, whom Éowyn names Holdwyn of the Mark. Kings of old would have laden you with gifts that Éowyn could not bear for your deeds upon the fields of Mundburg, and yet you will take not, you say, but the arms that were given to you. This I suffer, for indeed I have no gift that is worthy, but my sister begs you to receive this small thing as a memorial of Dernhelm and of the horns of the Mark at the coming of the morning. Éowyn then gives to Merry an ancient horn that Earl the Young, the first king of Rohan, had brought long ago from the north. Then Éomer and Éowyn embrace him, and so on the 14th of August they part for that time. Éomer goes on to become a great king, the first of the third line of the kings of Rohan. In 3021, the last year of the Third Age, he weds Lothíriel, the daughter of Prince Lothíriel of Dol Amroth, with whom he made friendship in Gondor during the War of the Ring. With Lothíriel, Éomer begets a son, Elfwine the Fair, who will become king of Rohan after him. During the Fourth Age of Middle-earth, in Éomer's day, Rohan prospers. In the Mark, men have peace who wish for it, and the people increase both in the dales and the plains, and their horses multiply. According to the peoples of Middle-earth, in Éomer's time the borders of Rohan are largely extended. The realm spreads west beyond the gap of Rohan, as far as the Grey Flood and the seashores between that river and the Isen, including Dunland, and north even to the borders of Lorien. In the Unfinished Tales we learn that the king reorders his realm, and the old offices of second and third marshals of Rohan are discarded, and Terkenbrand is made Marshal of the Westmark, while Elfhelm is made Marshal of the Eastmark, and the Lieutenant of Éomer King. These are the titles that Éomer maintains, and neither has precedence over the other. The new king makes also a special appointment to the office of Underking, which will operate in time of war. Its holder either rules the realm in the king's absence with the army, or takes command in the field if for any reason the king remains at home. In these days, King Elessar renews to Éomer the gift of Kirion, and Éomer, the 18th descended from Earl himself, takes again the oath of Earl, in that same place where it had been sworn centuries ago upon the Halifirian hill, at the site of the tomb of Elendil, and often King Éomer fulfills it. For though Sauron had passed, the hatreds and evils that he bred had not died, and the king of the west had many enemies to subdue before the white tree could grow in peace. And wherever King Elessar went with war, King Éomer went with him. And beyond the Sea of Rune and on the far fields of the south, the thunder of the cavalry of the Mark was heard, and the white horse upon green flew in many winds until Éomer grew old. Such is the peace and prosperity of the realm of Rohan during Éomer's long reign, that he becomes known as Éomer Edig the Blessed. The king of Rohan maintains his friendship with Merry Brandybuck, and in the year 11 of the Fourth Age, when the Hobbit becomes master of Backland, King Éomer sends to him great gifts, as does his sister, the Lady Éowyn of Ithilien. Many decades pass, and in the spring of the year 63 of the Fourth Age, King Éomer sends a message to Backland that he wishes to see Master Holdwyn once again. Merry departs from the Shire with Pippin, and they visit the king in Edoras. The two hobbits remain with Éomer king until the autumn of that same year. Then the glorious king of the Riddermark eventually passes away with Merry at his side. Having been young when he succeeded his uncle, King Théoden long ago, Éomer ruled his realm for 65 years, and apart from the third king, Zaldor the Old, his reign lasted longer than that of all the kings of Rohan before him. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one on the Homely House. Namarie.